Hello everyone. Today we are delighted to be here at Iconic Apparels. We are here to talk to Apoorv Sen, the Managing Director of Iconic Apparels, and he's going to share with us as to how they've been working to grow this company, which started in 2006 to till here in the last 20 years, what journey they have, what has been their journey and how they have grown here on our very own podcast called Rewired. I look forward to a wonderful conversation with Apoorv, and I hope you enjoy this conversation too. So with Iconic, they have some of the most wonderful global brands in their portfolio, brands including GANTT, their own very own private label, which is Iconic. They also have Just Kavali, they have L Kids, L Women, Blue Giraffe Kids, amongst many other. So we're going to be shortly talking to Apoorv Sen about how he is building up the portfolio and has grown Iconic Apparel into a 600 crore business already. So we're here today talking to the CEO of Iconic Apparels, which is Apoorv Sen. So welcome, Apoorv, to
Thank you so much.
Rewired, and we are very glad to be here and talking to you and getting to know you better and more about the work that Iconic is doing, and incredible work, I must say, that Iconic is doing in the Indian market. But before we get down to apparel, I would love for you to tell us, what do you think about the fashion industry? We've seen such change in the geopolitical climate in India as well as in the US. And given the fact that things are changing dramatically, and overall the impact that has been sort of impending and coming with digital growth also, what do you think is the change that we are likely to see in the fashion industry in years to come?
So I think world is changing at a macro level. So if you see for the last 2-3 years, the world is becoming more isolated. But I don't see any impact coming on fashion because most of the impact is on whatever people export to US, for example. But we are an importing country, and mostly all the premium brands are in India are imported. So I don't see any impact there. And in fact, with the latest declaration on GST, more and more products will be affordable now.
Right.
Prices will go down. And prices will go down in categories which are more affordable to middle class. And as I believe, the people who actually are in the premium segment, they don't care about a 500 rupees increase.
Right.
They go more on experience and product. So I don't see any changes. Actually, whatever I see is positive, because the purchasing power of the middle class would increase with savings coming from GST, which government has declared. So I don't see any changes. I see it becoming better.
And how has GST changed business for you?
So GST has been, I'll say it is, there are both sides to GST. So in our kids business, GST has given us a lot of impetus, because it has brought a saving, not a saving to us, but a saving to the end consumer. So they will save when they shop.
Right.
And I don't see, though our prices have increased in the premium category, but I don't see any impact, because people who shop premium in India, they don't actually care about the value of the product. They're more driven by the experience and the quality of the product and the
Right.
brand. So overall, I think it's a positive sentiment.
Right.
And
do you think it's going to convert into more sales in this year?
I'm sure. I think this festive season would go very strong. There is a positive impact. Anything which government announces as a bonanza always creates a positive sentiment for the consumers. And when there is a positive sentiment, it results into sales.
Right.
So it's been a start. We've already seen a good Pujo. Now we are anticipating a good Diwali, and going forward, a good winter. And one more thing which is very strong and important for retail is also early winter. And with the rains coming now, the temperature is completely changed.
Correct.
In fact, now for retail, winter season is more important than Diwali. And with early winters coming in, I think this will be a good quarter for overall retail in India.
Right. But I mean, winter is a more North India phenomenon. So how do you see it paving out in South India and West India maybe?
So West India and South India is more festive. West India is a very big festive market. And there I think the positive sentiment of the overall ecosystem would help. and early winters coming in North, because North contributes to the maximum retail sales for any brand in the country. So North will be driven by early winters, West will be driven by festivity. So we are looking for a very strong quarter from October to December. So, and that's a very positive note, right?
Yes, certainly.
And in retail, you all need to be very optimistic. In spite of all the changes, that optimism should never go. And that's how we work, right? Even in the most difficult days, we've always been optimistic.
Right. Right. So, we see so many iconic brands within Iconic Apparels, and, we see GANTT, we see Just Kawali, True Religion, and L, and Blue Giraffe. How is it that you select your portfolio of brands? What drives you to say that, and believes, and what gives you the belief to say that, okay, this is the brand we really want in our portfolio, and this is how it will expand, we'll be able to grow it in the Indian market?
So, Iconic is a premium multi-brand store, and we sell all kind of brands. We sell brands from Hugo Boss, Armani, Exchange, to Tommy Hilfiger, Calvin Klein. So we have a lot of data. We have a lot of customer preference data in terms of what they shop, what they like, what product category they like. And whenever we have such a strong data, we look at brands, and it's always better to create your own brands.
Right.
Because margins are higher. You create more customer loyalty because there is an exclusivity in your store for the brands that you control in the market. So with the help of all the data which shows us the customer preferences, we're able to actually narrow down on brands which will excite the customer in a particular store. So most of our decisions when it comes to expanding in our own in-house brands or categories comes from customer preferences, and that we have a lot of data.
Right. And when you say that you have a lot of data, do you have data for digital sales, or do you also sort of collect data in some way through your stores and make sure that you're sort of...
So I would say we are a 360 degrees company. We control and look at data from every source. And when I say every source, it's not only offline, it's also online.
Right.
So, for example, it's a very simple example that how do we expand in newer cities in India? It's very simple that, online today delivers to 20,000 plus postal codes in the country, whereas physical stores are limited to, say, 35 cities.
Correct.
But looking at the sales which are coming from pin codes, we decided even expanding to newer cities. So we have a lot of data which is customer preferences from across channels. And that helps us also in configuring which store, which brand to do in which pocket of India. So it has to be a data-led decision now. You cannot just work with impulse. Obviously, there has to be some percentage of impulse, but I think 90% decisions are made on data. And our data is all unified. We collect data from all sources, may it be dispatched of a D2C order to offline sales. We have one source of data. So we have all data, and then we dice it out to figure out what we want to do.
Right. And so now we're just on the subject of omni-channel. So how do you ensure that a strong digital presence is not a offset for your stores? So how do you make sure that, while we've spoken on data, but nevertheless, how do you make sure that both get their due advantage?
It's very interesting to see that a lot of people feel that omni-channel is a disruption for offline sale. But I feel that it's an add-on to offline sale, and I have a data for that. It's very interesting because we were the first few companies who started the omni sale model.
Right.
Even in marketplaces like Myntra, Ajio, Tata Click, Luxury. And what we realized was that today, all these marketplaces, they have a lot of new customer base who wants to try the brand. They're the first time aspirational customers for the brands. So what we've seen is that at least 40% of those customers, their third purchases are made in offline. So we acquire those customers online, but because then they get exposed to the brand, the quality of the product that the brand is offering, then actually they come back to offline, and they actually become loyal offline customers because the experience and the convenience that you can give in offline, that experience you cannot give in online, but online really helps in making our brands reach to customers who are sometimes not offline customers. So with data, actually, it says that omni-channel is actually the way forward. It's actually, you cannot run a company now which is only offline focused. Neither you can run a company which is purely digital. So you need to have a beautiful mix of both the channels and use the data in a way that they both support each other.
And so how does the business lend itself to omni-channel? So what percentage goes where of the
So
business?
if you look today at, let's take an example of marketplace data, which is a bigger data. So for example, Myntra, out of 100% Myntra GANTT business, 45% business comes from omni-channel.
Right.
And why omni-channel? Because our products are distributed over stores, over different regions, different states. So what we do is we have to give that convenience to the shopper that the product has to be delivered within, say, 48 hours of his order. And through omni-channel, we are able to do that. And that creates a wow factor, because if he orders, he gets the product in 24 to 48 hours. And that creates a longer loyalty base for a customer, as well as it also creates a confidence and a trust level for the customer.
Online marketplaces particularly, they are known for their discounting policies, and of course it gives a big push to the brand as well as sales. But nevertheless, how do you sort of then build that serendipity and magic of full price buying with an experience in the stores and all this?
So
how does it all complement each other?
Absolutely. So what we've seen is that because we are working more on the premium brands, in the premium category of brands, experience plays the bigger role. So experience you can only get when you visit an offline channel, because that kind of experience, when you're exposed to the brand, that catalog size, which is obviously much bigger than the online catalog size sometimes, it helps the customer. But we as a company also operate in a very fixed policy that we don't offer two different prices of the same product across channels.
Right.
I firmly believe, and I've always had this belief, that you cannot cheat the customer. You need to have the same offering, same price point, same discounting, maybe in the online channel or the offline channel.
Right.
Yeah, online is more driven by discounts, but that does not make us discount our fresh season. So for fresh season, a customer will get the same offering, maybe in online channel or offline channel. What is the value add or a beauty of offline is that when he visits an offline channel, he's able to touch and feel the product that sometimes he cannot do in online channel.
Right.
And that's the beauty of offline. That kind of experience you can never give in online.
Correct.
So, but it's very important for a brand to have the same offering, same discounting, so that the customer does not feel cheated, because he's making an effort or she's making an effort to visit a store, actually go to the store, take out time, and that if you're cheating the customer through differential discounting, that's a.
But do you also differentiate your range between what is selling online and then what is selling in the stores?
We don't differentiate, but what happens is, because offline channel today is an expression of the brand.
Right.
So there you need to add freshness very frequently. So what we do is that all the slow movers or the old inventory, we pull it out from the store, we add freshness to the store, so that whenever the customer visits the store, he or she gets a better experience in terms of new launch, in terms of freshness, new fashion elements. Whereas all the old stock that we have, which sometimes are slow movers or sometimes are season minus stocks, they move to the online channel. And sometimes that online channel, which is a discount-led channel, through discounting, we are able to liquidate our inventory, which also helps us in bringing more and more freshness to our offline channel. Even today, as a company, at an overall level, 85% of our business comes through offline. So that's our biggest bet. 15% comes from online channel.
Marketplaces and
all included. So what we've seen is, with this 85% business, the beauty is that it's not a discount-led business. It's actually an experience-led business. So there the customer is looking for more and more freshness, more and more newness. And we work at an average discounting of just, say, 18 to 22% when it comes to offline channel.
Right.
So there we have figured out that the customer is actually not a discount seeker. There the customer is an experience seeker, which is more important. And we control that 15 to 18% contribution coming from online channel beautifully, because we don't want to erode our brands in long term. We don't want the customer to feel that the brand is always available on discount. And that's why even today, even with a very strong digital push, 85% business still comes from the offline channel.
Today, when we are in a world where we are seeing that there are a lot of brands who are sort of not just focusing on products, but they're also extending themselves, they're opening service-based formats. We see a lot of cafés in store. We see a lot of spas, salons within the stores where people can buy both products and take services. Are you also experimenting with it?
Yeah, so you've asked me this question at a great time, because I am a firm believer that premium retail cannot survive without experience. And as we speak, we've just launched our dream project in Ahmedabad, in one of the most popular high streets, in the Bhavan Road. It's a beautiful 18,500 square feet store, and we've launched a very local, popular cafe within the store. It's called We Needed. And the idea of doing that is because I genuinely believe that when the customers are coming with their families, their friends, we need to give them that time to relax, to make purchase decisions, but also create an experience where they feel very comfortable.
Right.
And that's the future. And my vision is actually to have cafes in all iconic stores.
Right.
And the route that we've taken is also very nice because we believe that local cafes can play a huge role because every state in India has a very different, they have a very different taste of even tea and coffee.
Correct.
So it's better to tie up with local cafes to create that solution which the state would love. And that's my way forward. I believe that experience has to play a huge role in retail going forward. Also to add, this is how we started Iconic. So it's not only about experiences of saloons and spa, but if you actually go to an Iconic store, I believe that the maximum amount of time that customer spends after making a purchase decision is the trial rooms, is the lounge. And we actually, the trial rooms that we've created are huge trial rooms, our lounge, we have lounge. Sometimes people question me, यार तू इतना जगह वेस्ट करता है, इससे तो धंधा आ जाएगा, इससे तो every carpet area is money paid as rent. But I genuinely believe I leave space for good lounge, good trial rooms, because that's where the customer actually gets time.
And you don't plan to start a chain yourself of food?
No, we are right now extremely focused on fashion.
Okay. We are in such a stage of digital transformation, where we've seen, particularly post-COVID, we've seen technologies driving the business in many ways. So whether it is your CRM or your logistics or your other technical functions in the business. So how are you harnessing the new AI that is setting into power, and how are you empowering AI at Iconic?
So no longer a company can, you cannot run away from
AI. You can't be isolated. Yes.
You cannot be isolated. So what I say is we have to choose our battles. And in Iconic, what we've realized is that the most important route to take right now when it comes to technology is knowing your customer. The preferences, the purchase behavior, the frequency of purchase, to how he or she reacts. So what we have done is, through our very strong CRM program, which is actually a paid program, we have got very close to the customer. We understand what the customer buys, what customer does not buy sometimes. We know the customer by address, we know the customer by their birth date and anniversary dates, and we're able to celebrate that. One of the biggest things that Iconic does, and it does it in a very beautiful way, is that we actually call up the customer and we celebrate their birthday in our store. And it's a great feeling, if you've gone to shop on your birthday and the whole store knows that it's your birthday,
right,
and every single person wishes you.
Yeah, but we know restaurants always used to do that, right?
I think now, I don't see restaurants now doing it.
Yeah, and not as much.
We are learning all their old ways of doing things, but I think with these, so I believe technology has to be used in the right way. Also, we have built a lot of technology when it comes to our backend.
Right.
Merchandising, our planning, our dashboards in terms of real-time sales dashboards across channels, and that helps us because we are all on toes of what actually the customer needs. So we actually know beforehand that when next time customer comes to visit our store, what he or she is looking for. And if you know that through technology, it makes your life much easier because you can make what he or she is wanting to have in the store. And such informed decisions based on technology makes your life much easier. So we have taken a route, we have done all our technology investments right now in knowing the customer.
Okay. And who are your main suppliers? What technology companies are you working with?
So we work with multiple of companies. So we work on the warehouse side with Incrif, who's amazing.
Yeah.
We work on the Omni piece with Unicommerce, who's a leader in Omnichannel.
Yeah.
We work with Logic CRP. Why? Because they were the companies who were the first companies to support us in technology, and they worked with us for the last 12, 15 years when we had one store to today this journey. And the beauty is that what we believe and what I genuinely believe is that sometimes you don't need to build technologies. You need to rather partner with the people who know technology and use their technology, use their expertise to give you solutions. We need to have the problem statement, but in the market, there are people who are technology focused. Both needs to come together and create a solution. So I believe that you should use what people have developed, use it in the right way, use it in a way which helps your company.
Have you
And,
blue collared some technology also?
no, we have not. I don't believe in doing that. I believe rather in piggy banking on people who are technology folks and using their technology in the best possible way to create solutions.
So, you said that there is no blue collaring of technology, but then I see, big brands like Shoppers Stop today becoming technology companies. They are developing their own technologies and they are, sort of partnering with other technology companies, but they are saying that, look, we're a big organization and therefore we need to build our own technologies. Do you not feel the need for that?
So, ये सबके स्केल पे भी डिपेंड करता है, राइट? यू नो, दे हैव रीच्ड स्केल. हमारे स्केल पे मुझे नहीं लगता ये अभी जरूरत है या ये चलेगा.
Right.
So our approach is a short-term, medium-term, long-term approach. They've already reached a different scale, so they can actually.
But आप जब
develop
उतने ही
new
बड़े हो जाओगे तो you'll also do this.
वो हम उस टाइम पे सोचेंगे, बट आज के टाइम पे वो बोलते हैं ना, अपनी आपको चारपाई उतनी फैलानी चाहिए जितनी आपकी जरूरत है. तो अभी तो हमें लगता है कि with the resources available with us, we should not go that way at all.
Right.
Rather use people who've done it well to piggy bank on them to create a solution.
Right.
So अभी इस स्केल पे तो ये बिल्कुल नहीं चलेगा.
So many changes happening in the retail environment overall. We see, I know Indian loves Western brands, and we've seen an influx of Western brands coming to India across categories: fashion, home, consumer electronics, and so on. So, being on the helm, being at the top of the leadership at this point of time, how is it different from the last few years? And is it as competitive as it is spelled out to be? Or do you feel that things are far, things are more, it's more breathable time for you and you're able to build things? Or is it, you're always between a hard place and a rock?
So your one question has many questions. So I'll take it one by one. I think India is a developing country, and I always relate retail to the way we live our life. So I relate it to the houses that we stay in, the cars that we drive. So if you see, you look at Gurgaon itself, everybody is now going into better condos, driving better cars. Why so? Because India, as a country, we've always been a struggling, developing country. And now with the influx of money, with the development that we're seeing in India, everybody is aspiring to be, they want, they're aspirational, they want to flaunt what they have. They want to actually show to the world that we have actually worked hard and made a way for us, our own self.
Right.
So there is this whole concept going on in India that we want to show what we wear. And I believe that a lot of powerful brands give that opportunity to you to actually show what you are. And that's why brands that we have or our stores are creating a name and place for itself in the whole ecosystem. So India as an overall market, I feel would grow from various sides actually. If you look at the mass premium side, and if you even look at our organization, we are doing a lot of investments in building our own brands, which is when I say building our own brands, it's building from scratch, like Blue Giraffe,
right,
or Iconic, the brand that we have created. And that's made in India, designed in India for the Indian market. And that's a vision.
Oh, so you're fulfilling Modi ji's vision also.
Absolutely. I genuinely believe that the most beautiful thing is to build your own brand. And we are very clear that that's the way forward for us also. It's like GANTT and True Vision, where people get to show off the brands that they're wearing. So India will grow on both sides. And we also need to be smart. We need to do what the entire nation is talking about, which is made in India, for India, sold in India, and also cater to the people who are growing up in their phases of life and want to go into the super premium category.
Right. So how many people are there today working in Iconic?
We have about 180 people on our back end and almost 1,000 plus people working in our front end.
So what do you think is today the most valuable skill you look for in your people, in your teams, both in the front end and back end, which sort of is becoming the key to retail success?
Retail, ये बहुत ही मैं इसको simple तरीके से answer करता हूँ. It's a very simple thing. I believe that if you run a business like you actually run a family, you'll be successful.
तो फिर बहुत बड़ी हो जाती है ना
बड़ी हो जाती है, लेकिन वो family की values जो होती हैं वो retail चलाती हैं. Like in a family, you will have conflicts, you will have feuds. वो हमेशा हर कोई खुश नहीं रहेगा. But if you can understand your people, if you can show them a vision of how their growth can happen, if you have empathy at the right time, that's a very important thing. Empathy at the right time, because there are times when empathy overpowers business also.
Right.
So if you have a mix of this, I think today's leadership is more dynamic, and I'm trying to learn new things now, because a lot of young people are joining our organization. They have a totally different side to life. They believe much more in work-life balance than we used to when we were at their age. But we have to grow up with them now.
Yeah.
They have to teach us more than we teach them.
And
when
today also, when we are all under-resourced, there is, we all have to do more with less. So therefore, what are the maybe the 2 or 3 skills that you really bank upon?
So I believe that for a leader, it's extremely important to be passionate. You don't have to take failures to your heart. Like in retail today, we live by the day.
Right.
So there can be failures every day, but you need to wear that hat. You need to look at the bigger picture. You need to motivate yourself, because if you can't motivate yourself, how can you motivate a 1,500 people organization?
Correct.
So it's extremely important to be motivated, I believe, and especially be motivated in difficult times.
Right.
And COVID taught us this in a very good way. That when everything was shut, and for us, for example, when our stores were shut, we still did a lot of good work. So I believe that today if you ask me, 2 most important things to do is to be motivated, to be passionate, and to change with times, and to learn from people, because it's now the time has come when even a 19-year-old boy or a girl would teach you 2 new things a day.
Right.
Because they are living the world in a very different way. They're so technologically savvy. They look at the world in a very different way.
Right.
Their jargons are totally new. So it's more to learn now. So as a leader now, you need to be accepting of the fact that you need to learn every day.
Right.
And change yourself every day to the need of the people around you. So you cannot be stereotyped. You cannot be the same what you were when you were growing up, because the times have changed.
It's the first time that you've done a collaboration with a celebrity collaboration for GANTT, which is maybe even globally doesn't happen. So, what was the reason why you brought Shahid Kapoor on board as a celebrity collaboration? And, barring the fact that he's wearing your merchandise, what value do you think he will add to the brand?
So we did a lot of research, and we studied the brand actually. We wanted to actually choose a celebrity who resonates with the brand ethos. As a brand, GANTT believes in work in progress. They believe in always working towards success. They always say that we have not arrived. We are always working towards being that perfect brand. And when I was looking at all the celebrities and I looked at Shahid's work, he's a person who's always working hard. He's always work in progress. He's always doing the right things, and he's so humble about it. And that humility which Shahid carries is the humility that the brand carries.
Right.
And it's very important when you choose an ambassador for the brand to represent the brand, that they should connect on their value concept. That's why Shahid for GANTT.
And do we also see some more potential collaborations coming?
Absolutely. So we'll not stop here. This is our first experiment. This is the first ever experiment of this company. And looking at the results, which I think would be very positive.
Share the results.
And the initial start has been amazing. Shahid's post itself gathered massive attention. We've crossed almost 1 million likes. I think
organically?
Organically, absolutely organically, nothing paid. You don't need to pay when Shahid is doing something. But this is the start, and we will closely examine it. And this will pave a way forward for many more collaborations too.
Any other cultural collaborations also that are likely to happen? Maybe, we globally see some museum collaborations which brands do, or some, maybe an Eiffel Tower or a New York City. So do you see such opportunities in Indian market?
Early stage, because still I would want, if I look at a lot of fashion brands globally, they're in the process of doing that.
Yeah.
India would follow their footsteps. So I think in the next 3 to 4 years, you would see something interesting. I would personally aspire for our own iconic brand to associate with Taj Mahal, which is one of the seven wonders, our own property,
Correct.
our own. We're proud of it. So going forward, but right now I think it's an early stage for such collaborations. But we would love to do that.
Sure.
Why not be proud of what we have?
Okay, so now here is the fun part, and we're now going to get into a quick get to know. Let's get to know Apoorv and what he has to say and what he thinks and the way he lives. So Apoorv, this is quick, and it's like your rapid fire. Just go on
from my
with
heart,
it.
basically.
Yes, totally. Because it's rewired, so we're calling it Refired round.
Wow.
What is your preferred business growth strategy?
Profitable expansion.
How many brands are there in the portfolio of Iconic?
We sell almost 55 brands within the Iconic store, and we control almost 10 brands exclusively in the Indian market.
And the brand you like to wear the most from your own portfolio?
I love to wear GANTT for top wear and True Religion for bottom wear.
And you still wish there was this one brand that you
I
wanted
wish we
in
would
your
have controlled or have had Indian rights for Hugo Boss. I love the brand.
Ah. And one location where you would want to see an Iconic store which is not there?
Fraser Road, Patna.
Oh wow, you think that kind of sales
It's a great
come?
market. It's a market which has not been tapped, and a lot of money. And the way the development strategy is shaping up in Bihar, I think it will be a great market.
Lovely, that's good to know. That's particularly a secret for everybody in the retail industry. But back to Refired, one big secret about Iconic stores which people don't know about.
Even if you don't shop at Iconic store, you'll get the best coffee of the city at Iconic store. So if you just want to go for a coffee, you can go to a Iconic store for a hot cup of coffee.
Is it free?
Absolutely free. And we'll get you that coffee from your favorite coffee shop.
Oh wow, that's good. COVID has been a real killer. So what has been your one biggest resilience moment from COVID?
One day where our collection was zero because all stores were shut, and we had to pay salaries of 1,500 people, which means we had to sustain 1,500 families. That was a very difficult moment.
And finally, what is your favorite retail format in India outside Iconic Fashion?
I love Zudio. I love the way they've redefined Indian retail. So a lot of respect for them, and a lot of learning comes from them, that how they're able to do what they're able to do. So I love the concept.
Oh, wow. So that was Refired at Rewired, and with Apoorv Sen, who has some great ideas for not just himself, but for all the retailers in the country. So watch him in Rewired as we give you an outplay of what Apoorv thinks about fashion in India. I hope you enjoyed the conversation as much as I did, and what a wonderful coffee this
Thank you
is
so
from
much.
We Need It.